The video you're about to watch was not made with the intent to cause any kind of ill will or harm in any way, shape, or form. The purpose of this video is to tell my story as to why I am no longer Christian, while also giving facts and opinions. So, with that being said, sit back. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy the video. Everybody, what is going on? It's me, the Elite Ace. We are live action. You already know what it is. Here to bring you the very first real world topic video since my major comeback. Now, I know so many of you have been missing these videos. I've been seeing the comments. People saying they miss them, they want them, they need them, they're looking forward to them, all those kind of things. And don't worry, I got you. So for the ones who are new to my channel, first thing first, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, all the above. So in my real world topic videos, I discuss just that, real world topics. I will not be discussing anything anime, video games, or manga. I may throw in a little joke or an Easter egg here and there, but for the most part, it's all real world. Now, in my early days, when I first started YouTube, I would take like constant real world topic requests. I'm not saying I won't do that anymore, but I would do that, and on top of also just doing real world topic videos, just off the dome, just like, you know what, this would be a good topic, or I want to share this kind of insight on something. So the thing is, when people will request them, if I can relate to it, or if I feel that, you know what, I can give some good advice on this, I will really do it. So this video right here, boy, this one, I know a lot of you were not expecting this one. Boy, this is gonna be heavy like a Chevy. This may be my longest real world topic video. I have some notes right here, because I don't want to lose track. So you stick to this whole thing, I greatly appreciate it. So let's start from the top. Oh man, all the way back to when a motivator was born. As far back as I can remember, I've always been a Christian, and I get it. Growing up in a black household, especially black moms and fathers. My parents were both Christian. So were my aunties and my uncles and my grandparents and my cousins, and of course my brother. So growing up, I remember going to an all Christian private school. It was called Bethany Baptist Church. And, I remember those memories very, very well. On Fridays, we could wear regular clothes. Monday through Thursday, we had to wear, private school attire. I remember back in those days, if you would act up, you had to hold your hand out, they pop your head with a ruler. Yes, that has happened to me before. And I also remember when it was nap time, they would have us go to sleep listening to classical music. I'll never forget that. Never forget that. We had to sleep on these blue little hammock. If I can find a picture, I'll put up in the video, but we had to sleep on those and just wake up and go to sleep to the soothing sounds of orchestra music. And it wouldn't be like the epic music. It would be like almost with a Fantasia type of thing to it. And we would watch all these Christian movies, Superbook, all those kind of things. I remember for Halloween, we would have to go trick-or-treating in the actual private school, and we couldn't say trick-or-treat. We actually had to say a Bible verse. I think I dressed up as Moses or Noah, or one of those motivators. But yeah, damn near all my life, it was Jesus this, Jesus that, Christian this, Christian that. I remember my main church, Solid Rock Missionary Baptist Church. That's how I was Baptist. That's how I was raised. And I would go there, and it seemed like it was damn near passed down from generation to generation. From what I understand, my grandmother started that church, and it just went all the way, not downhill, but it just progressed on throughout the generation. So, and the church is still there. I am glad about that, And, church, man, for all the black folks watching, man, I would have to have church, not just church, but church. I'm talking, you have to go, well, I have to go so early for Bible study. Then after Bible study, it was morning worship. And then after that, it was afternoon service. And after that, it was evening service. I remember times getting out of church, it would be nighttime. And as a child, I thought that was just torture. I wanted to go home and play the game or watch cartoons or something, but it was also in the back of my mind like, man, now I gotta get up and go to school. Like, this just is not fair. But, it didn't make my life miserable or anything like that. It was just one of those things like, man, how long am I gonna have to keep doing this? There were times I felt like I get it. Each Sunday, there's a set theme. We're gonna talk about this or we're gonna talk about that. But seeing as how there was 3 different sermons, you have the morning worship, afternoon worship, evening worship. They would touch on different topics. And at one point, I actually thought I'll be looking at the Bible. I'm like, he's gonna run out of things to talk about. I mean, there's only so much you can talk about forgiveness and the 10 Commandments and the metaphors of this, and Jesus went through that, and living right by this. I'm thinking like he's going to run out of biblical content to just start talking. Then there were times we will visit other churches. I would see their styles and their practices, or sometimes we have guest preachers that will come to our church. The whole nine. I've been baptized before. The communion thing, this is his blood, this is his flesh, his body, you drink that, all that kind of thing. The collection plate, the money, the tithes and offerings, it's the whole nine. You name it, I've experienced it and had to live through it. Man, I remember I went to a Bible museum. The church we went to, I think Ohio or Chicago, it was like a wax museum, but it was telling the story of the Bible. And to my knowledge, I think it was through the Old Testament. It was from Adam and Eve all the way up until I think the Last Supper. And I would never forget, man, it was just scary. It was scary. I'm gonna tell you why. So there's these dark hallways. I should try to look it up. If I can find anything similar to it, I will put it up in this video. So there are these dark hallways, and then these lights came on. And then you just heard the speaker. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And you just seen this wax, realistic looking figure of Adam and Eve. Of course, they were depicted to be white. And, they showed them in the garden and the snake and, Eve with the apple, even though it's technically not an apple, it was just a forbidden fruit. But other groups and cultures and whatnot, or rewriters, they make it out to be an apple. So, we walk on through that, the Cain and Abel thing, we all know about that, yada yada. And then what was eerie to me, when we made it all the way up to the Last Supper. Man, because when you're looking at one part, when they're explaining that story of the Bible over the speaker, you can kind of see to the hallway to your right, like these shadowed out figures right here, because the lights isn't on. Once that part is over with, you look, lights cut on, it was just the Last Supper. Long ass table, Jesus with his disciples, everything. It looked eerie because it was like realistic. There was a lot of detail. You were just looking like, man, because there's 8 million different types of pictures and depictions of Jesus. You have a Korean Jesus, you have the black Jesus, the white Jesus. You have, you see that all over. You have the Jesus that you see pictures of that are going off of the best description that the Bible is giving of him in Revelations. So it was pretty scary and interesting. And I would say my prayers all the time, in Jesus' name this, Jesus' name that, Christian this. And I never forget when I was younger. Well, this was all, of course, part of my youth. When I was like real young, I'm thinking 7, 8 years old, I was at church. And I remember as I got older, I thought back to this memory, and I used to think to myself, was I mentally or spiritually ahead of my time? Because I don't know if a lot of kids would think like this, especially young black boys. I looked at this lady in church and I said, is God real? And she said, oh, of course he is, sweetie. Now, at that point, I'm not saying I was doubting, the existence of God. You know, yes, to clarify, I do believe in God. They're going to call it a higher power, an entity, something, almighty being, whatever. But now we're talking religion and Catholic Christianity, Jesus, all this, now that's a whole different story. So I was just thinking like, okay, so he's real. Okay, that's what we're praying to. And I had more questions, A lot of these gospel songs, they'll say, clap your hands and stomp your feet. Especially as a young child, I remember the adult saying, yeah, stomp your feet, make the devil mad. The devil's mad today. This is the day of worship, That's right, in Jesus' name, yada, yada, yada. So I remember thinking, is the devil actually getting mad? Like, is he down below hearing this ruckus every Sunday? Is this making him mad? I was actually thinking like, I think that was like a little bit of foreshadowing of my spiritual awakening, just nudging at my brain or my conscience. Like, yeah, a lot of this is, starting out to make sense, but you will see when you get older. So another thing I remember asking my mom, I said, Mom, can God hear us singing to him? No, can Jesus hear us singing to him? I said, yeah, he can hear us. I said, oh. I said, but there's other churches singing to him every Sunday. And then there's churches that don't even have church only on Sundays. There's churches that have church on multiple days throughout the week, but they really have church on Sunday. And she said, yeah, he hears that too. So right there, you know what I started thinking? So he can hear all these choirs all at once every Sunday. You get what I'm saying? So I remember as I got older, and this is the next part, when I just started realizing, like, you know what? This isn't sitting right with me. Over time, yes, you start to come across and know about other religions. One of my old best friends at the time, he was Jehovah's Witness. He had a lot of different practices from what I did. But guess what? We didn't judge each other for it. We still got along. And to me, I think in life, that's what matters. Who gives a damn what your religion is or what you believe or don't believe? Let's just treat each other with respect. And if we're going to be within each other's circle or group, let's try to lift each other up, empower each other, etc. That's what really matters. But, religion, it can divide people. It can actually cause harm. Religion is not all good. It's not. If you read the Bible, it's not all good. It is some messed up stuff in the Bible. It really is not. That is a fact. That is not an opinion. Before ninjas start click clacking, no, that is an actual fact. So going back to it, to me coming across other religions and being conscious, like, oh, so there's other religions. I started thinking, but see, guess what was programmed in my mind? They're wrong. They're crazy. That's not the way of the Lord. That's not the way of Jesus Christ. Why that you do what? That doesn't make sense. The Bible doesn't say this, and then they will say the same thing to me. I will see this all across radio shows. I will see this happening in radio stations. I will see this happening in school and TV shows, movies, families, everything. I remember there was a death in my family, and one of my family members was Jehovah's Witness. The funeral was in the church, and she said, no, I don't go into churches because of her religious beliefs. And at the time, I actually thought that's crazy, that's stupid. So you would not see your family member get laid to rest because of your spiritual beliefs? Like, what's gonna happen if you walk into a church? You're gonna just burst into flames or something? It was crazy to me. And over time, you start to see the crooked preachers, the crooked churches, how a lot of it is a scam. Not every church, not every preacher, I get it, all right? But, you have some snakes that abuses this Christianity. You have a lot of gullible people. You have a lot of weak-minded people. You have a lot of people that are spiritually lost or not spiritually in tune. And they can easily just succumb to this whole religious belief and practices and just these false teachings that are being told. Because if you look back at it, as a child, I don't know about you, what was I gonna say to my mom? Especially a black mom. And I thought that was funny. My dad, he rarely went to church. I'm like, Dad, he get to stay home. How come I can't stay home? But anyway, what was I gonna say to her? No, Mom, I'm not going to church. No, mom, I'm not gonna, pray to Jesus. No, mom, I didn't, because as a child, a lot of us, and I know I did, looked at our parents as either super mom, Superman, or super dad. They can't do no wrong, or they can do very little wrong because they have all this experience. And then as you get to know your grandmother and grandfather and grandparents, you're like, whoa, this is their parents. So they're really older than them. They got all this experience and knowledge. I gotta go by everything they say. Or a lot of you say the big ma's or big ma, or everything she says is right, is law regarding the Bible, anything, her teachings, all of that. So if she passed those factual knowledgeable practices down on my mom and dad, then that gotta be right what they're teaching me. That just has to be right. And that's part of the whole brainwashing, the rewiring, or just the wiring that goes on. Because when we're born as humans, yes, we have, our instincts, our nature, but most of the time, if not all the time, and you know what, now I'm serious when I ask this, I am dead serious. Please let me know down below, because this would be very interesting. There's like interesting data on my end, spiritual data. How many of you growing up, right? Follow me. How many of you ever had that type of upbringing where your parents literally said, here's all these different religions, or here's 10, or here's access to multiple ones. Pick one. Don't believe what I believe, pick one. Did that ever happen to you? If so, hats off to your parents or guardian, whoever raised you, because my mom and dad didn't do that. That's not the case. Again, growing up, black household, it was automatic Christian. So for the ones who are watching this, who aren't black, I'm gonna tell you this right now. 9.5 times out of 10, especially in America, you come across a black person, chances are they're Christian. I guarantee it. Now, I'm not saying all blacks in America are Christian. I'm not saying that. You have some blacks that are Jehovah's Witness. I know a black lady who's a Jehovah's Witness. You have some black Catholics, things of that nature. But most of them, come on now, Christian. Jesus. They are Christian. A lot of them are probably Baptists. So that's another thing. And going back to the whole realizing there's other religions, I'll never forget, I started thinking to myself, so I'm only Christian because I was taught this. So again, I was like, who taught that to my parents? Oh, it was their parents. Who taught it to them? It was their parents. Who taught them? At some point, it keeps going back. And it makes you wonder, I wonder who was the first person in my bloodline to come across Christianity and believe it, follow the practices and teachings, and decide to pass it down to generation. I wonder who. Especially if you're a black person, you can probably figure out how a lot of that stuff came to be. If you trace back to your ancestors and Christianity, all that kind of stuff. But that's a topic for a whole nother video. So, it was one of those things where I started to put the pieces together. Okay, I'm Christian because my parents was Christian. They raised me to be Christian. They didn't give me an option at all. And then I just had all these questions and thoughts and feelings that I couldn't get answers from a preacher. I couldn't get answers from my parents. I couldn't get answers from the church. I couldn't get answers from the Bible. Yes, and I know the cliche thing with some of the Christians that are watching this are probably thinking, oh, but did you pray about it? Did you ask for guidance? Did you ask for sign? Been there, done that, done it all. I'm looking at different translations of the Bible, trying to research and find the lost books. Some people take the Bible out of context. Some people interpret it differently. All these I was just going through so many things. It was a spiritual journey trying to figure this out. And I never fully at the time knew why was I trying to figure this out. And then you have some Christians like, oh, that's the devil. That's the devil. That's another thing, boy. Black folks, they swear everything is the devil or demonic. I swear to grits, man. God, something could be going bad. Somebody can be like a video like this. I bet there's probably a Christian out there right now like, that's the devil. That's the devil. Come on now. That is, oh man, it's damn near comical at this point. So there was a time in my life where I believe my spiritual awakening happened where this was very, very important. I think a lot of people can benefit from this. I guess depending on how healthy you are mentally and what your mental state is. Not being distracted by these worldly things and just literally going into your inner world, talking with the inner self, your inner spirit, being away with your thoughts and really reflecting on yourself. It's like having an internal spiritual rebirth. And see, when I speak like this, a lot of people probably think I'm crazy or this. No, when you really know thyself, when you have that spiritual awakening, you sound crazy to the people who are lost or clouded up here or are guided with a sheep leash. That's what I'm gonna call it. You know, they're spiritually sheepish. They have this leash around it. All these sheep with leashes connected to one another, being misguided. You know, they don't know who they are. They're only going off of what their parents wanted them to go off of. You are not your parents. I'm not my parents. Yeah, I get it for the sarcastic motivators. Yeah, our DNA is made up of our parents. You know what I mean. I'm not my mom. I'm not my dad. All right. What my dad, what his career was, that wasn't my dad's. What my mom's career was, what my dad's career was, that wasn't his dad's. And my mom's career, that wasn't her mom's. What I do for a living, my parents didn't do. You know, we all have our own path. We want to do things we want to do. You know, some people went to college, some people don't. It's a perfect example. Some people only go to college because their parents tell them to. They drill it into their head. Oh, you can't make it without college. In today's world, that's a damn lie. You can easily make it without college. You can. It all depends on what you want to do, the path, etc., etc. You really can. But guess what? We all have to think about where their mindset was back when they were growing up. Back then, our parents didn't have the internet. They didn't have all these options to make all this type of money and just to become rich and famous damn near overnight, or just to have all these 9-to-5 options. All they knew: school, college, 9-to-5, retire. School, college, 9-to-5, retire. School. That's all they knew. So they figured out, oh yeah, I got my house, got my wife, or I got my husband, got my white fence, got the family dog, got the cars, the pension, the insurance, all that stuff. Yeah, this is how I'm supposed to be, so I'm gonna teach this to my kids. That's not completely bad, but it's not really good neither. Like, God, man, like, people, they really need to just listen to themselves. I've heard people, and I know people right now, they are technically lost. What they are doing right now, they're only doing it because they're afraid of disappointing their parents or making their parents mad. No, you would disappoint your parents if you're out there robbing, stealing, and killing, or embarrassing the family name. You know, you have to realize you won't disappoint your parents if you follow your own path and it brings you happiness and peace, and you're not hurting yourself or others. That is what's important. I know motivators, oh, I won't work this job because my parents don't want me to get to, or I won't get tattoos because my parents don't, or I won't get tattoos or do this because of this religion that my parents forced me or brainwashed me to be in. That's why I ask you, all of you, who are you? Do you really know yourself? And I don't want no bullcrap answers. Yeah, I know myself. I like my water at room temperature, or I like to sleep with socks on, or I like to, no. I'm talking about internally. Here and here. Do you really know yourself? Because I really want you to vision an alternate version of yourself if your parents never introduced or forced religion on you. Or say if you're a Christian watching this, or if you went down a Catholic path, or if you're a Catholic watching this, if you went down the Jehovah's Witness path. I know a girl I used to work with at Hard Rock Cafe. We're still friends on Facebook and everything. She has a wonderful family now. It was so refreshing when, you know, she was like, yeah, I was raised Catholic, but I'm no longer a Catholic. You know, I'm Buddhist. It relates to me more. I can connect with that more. And I hella respect that. I really do. Because just because your parents tell you to do this spiritually and religiously, all that kind of stuff, that doesn't mean it resonates with you. Resonate with what matches with how you feel on the inside. So back to my cocoon stage of the spiritual awakening, I just, a lot of things just wasn't making sense. It really wasn't, it's just all these things just really started to get brought into the forefront. Even when I wasn't researching it, I would come across other debates. I would see topics. I would see questions that even I never thought of that was real good that no one can answer. I'm like, Christianity isn't even the first religion. It's very old, but it's not the first religion. They swear all other religions before that is wrong. If you don't follow Christ, you're gonna go to hell and burn, all this kind of stuff. When I seen that video, this what really kind of pissed me off. It was like a spiritual truth. When it was this, and I tried to find it on YouTube, I swear I can't find it, because the last time I went to look for it, the comments were turned off. I thought that was funny. So there was this tour guide, black guy in Egypt, and he was talking to these tourists, and behind him was a wall, hieroglyphics in it, and it was showing basically the introduction of the Bible, the Egyptian version, and this predated way before the Bible. Yeah, I know the Bible was written on scrolls, all that stuff, but it predated. So I'm thinking, like, wait a minute. Did the Bible plagiarize a lot of stuff? It's like, because people wonder, is it real? Is it fake? Where's the historic evidence of these motivators? John, Luke, Noah, Moses, Abraham, Isaac. Where is a skin cell, a tooth, a skeleton, a piece of fabric, a hair follicle, something? And people wanted the same thing with Jesus, And I just kept seeing sign after sign after sign after sign after sign, where a lot of this stuff either didn't make sense or it was hard for me to believe. And then there's the rules of Christianity. Like, come on now, like, not supposed to get tattoos, or no sex before marriage. I discussed this topic with a couple of people about the no sex before marriage thing. And I'm sorry, the thing is, like here in my notes, to me, human nature clashes with religion. I get horny. If I want to smash a hollow, I want to smash a hollow. It is what it is. So I'm supposed to feel guilty for this natural human urge. Yes, I know we have self-control. Obviously, yes, I have self-control, because you can't just go around taking it. You can't. So, it's one of those things like, two consenting adults. Yeah, we're gonna go at it. And there were times I used to feel guilty, like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. And oh man, Jesus forgive me for my sins, all this stuff. But again, this is one of those things where I'm like, I can't feel bad for, my natural human desires. I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I am human. I'm thinking like, Jesus got mad. He hit a prostitute, he flipped the table up before and everything. God can get mad, so he's a jealous God. But of course, we're not supposed to act on our emotions like that. I know people want to debate, like, well, we're humans, we're civilized, we're supposed to be, calm, or, this stuff. We're supposed to show some sort of restraint, or this isn't morality, this isn't morality. It's so many different things. But I do what makes me happy. And if it's not hurting me or anyone else, I'm going to do it. Yes, I still have my integrity and self-respect, things of that nature, but me having sex before marriage, I'm going to hell. I'm supposed to feel bad about that. I'm sorry, I can't. Now, I will say there are things in the Bible I do agree with. The thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit murder, kill, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not kill. I get it, but guess what? I don't need the Bible to, teach me to be a good person. I know it's wrong to steal. I know it's wrong to kill. I know it's wrong to do this. Like I said, there are some good things in the Bible, but I'm not basing my life or my journey through life off of the Bible. I'm not. Life is too short and the world is too big. I know people they have missed out on so many experiences because of the biblical restrictions. Oh, I'm not supposed to do this, or oh, I can't do that, or oh, well, Christ this and Jesus this. And that's on you. That's on you. All right. I mean, you like it, I love it. Not literally, but I mean, hey, that it's like not being distracted by these worldly things. You're really tapping into who you are. Meditate. I'm gonna tell you this. On New Year's Eve, I never watched the ball drop. I haven't watched the ball drop in years. You know what I do? I meditate. Those last 30 minutes, I meditate. I either get down on my knees, palm over hand in my lap, or I sit Indian style, and I just reflect on the past year. Have an inner talk with yourself and or God. If you don't believe in God, that's cool, whatever. Have an inner talk with yourself. See what you can improve on. See, get your mind ready, set for the next year, coming up. However you want to meditate. Some meditate to music, silence, meditate to other people. That's fine. Candles lit, whatever. But that's what I do. And also, I noticed this. I put this on Facebook years ago. I said, this is another thing that shifted me from being religious. I was like, you ever notice how everyone's religion is the right one? You ever notice that? Everyone's religion is the right religion. Not everyone can be right. Not everyone can be right. And notice if somebody else commented, somebody said, yeah, and it's funny how their religion is the same religion that their parents believe in. I said, exactly. So I made that decision. I said, I refuse to, have these struggles. I got tired of the struggles, not being able to react on or do what I wanted to do, knowing it was going to make me feel good and bring peace. I refuse to feel like I come across as a hypocrite. Yeah, I'm a Christian. I pray to Jesus. Yeah, but I do this and that sometimes. But it's all good. All I gotta do is just ask for forgiveness. I'm all good. I know motherfuckers like that right now. I'm like, oh, so you're a fake Christian. Now, I have met like a super Christian. I can respect those. Because if you're going to talk it, then walk it. Plain and simple. Don't backslide. Don't half-ass. Don't holier than thou Sunday. And then Monday through Saturday, you on some other stuff. Come on now. And then they want to get a cop out. Well, it's not easy to be Christian, or, I'm only human. I cannot stand that bullshit as excuse. I cannot stand it. If you're going to be devoted to something, and if you're so afraid of disappointing your Lord and Savior, and if you're so afraid of going to hell, sucker, you need to straighten up and walk the holy, righteous path then. Plain and simple. So, oh man, with that, the experiences with people, friends, family, girlfriends. Now, yes, a lot of my family, damn near all of them are still Christian. They are. But that's cool. And whatever they want to do, that's fine. And since it's been years since I've been made this choice, by the way, now it's like, I hear a lot of, in Jesus' name I pray, or, they'll tell me, I cover you in the blood of Jesus, to protect you. Now, there are other religions and people that are spiritual like me, they hear that. They think it sounds weird or nasty or kind of cultish, or like, so I guess that's what y'all Christians do. Y'all deity, y'all Messiah, they just get covered in his blood for protection. For others, that sounds normal, and for others, it sounds crazy. Guess what? Growing up, I thought that was completely normal. Like, yeah, okay, no, he's the Son of God. Everything in him is holy and for protection. Like, oh man, so with family, they will forever be Christian, I'm sure, and that's fine, whatever. I do have this one cousin. He used to jump from religion to religion to religion to religion. First, he used to tell me about the inaccuracies or how wrong and questionable things are in the Bible and whatnot. I remember he told me, the Bible says, what Jesus said, don't pray to me, pray to my Father, or things like, well, it said this, it said that. And I used to be like, man, where are you getting this from? Are you sure? I don't know. Then he jumping from religion to religion. I used to be like, man, what are you doing? I actually thought he was lost. Nah, he wasn't really lost. But see, because when you're lost, what is the opposite? What are you trying to do? You're supposed to find your way. He was lost, but on his journey. Some people, they're just lost and complacent. They're subconsciously lost. They don't know they're lost, or they're lost with a religious blindfold on. And that wasn't the case with my cousin. And as I got older, as I started to do more research and deep dive and just being more spiritually in tune, I realized like, yeah, he wasn't tripping. Now, spiritually, he's where he's at because of that journey. We all have different journeys and we all have different paths to God. And that's the one thing. If you believe in God and if you believe there is one God, you think there's only just one way to God? And there are tons of videos out here like this. That's the funny thing. There are videos like this. I watched one the other day when this one woman said, "Why I'm no longer Catholic." Man, she was giving the ins and outs on how Catholic religion is that I didn't even know about and things that didn't make sense to her. And I can respect that. So that was, talking with family, now with girlfriends. Basically, damn near all my girlfriends or women I slept with were Christian. Yeah, see, that's the irony. That's what I know. We're human. These are Christian women. And I'm straight power driving. Oh, but they're Christian women. Well, women, right? They're supposed to wait for marriage. But see, it's that instinctive nature. That's what it is. So I love lemon water. I'm telling you, lemon water is one of the best things you can drink. I'm telling you, I know I keep drinking it. But so my ex, oh yeah, she'd be on her Christian stuff. I'm telling you. But see, I'm so cool, chill, calm, collected, open-minded, and respectful. I didn't care that she was Christian. At the time when we loved each other, that's all that mattered. That's all that mattered. And I'm the type of person, I didn't get offended, if she was to pray for me, or say if I'm going on a job interview or I'm trying to make something good happen. She said, "Oh, I pray that it happens." Or I pray for it. Okay, that's cool. Look, whatever you believe, whatever religion you believe, and you believe that's sending some kind of good, positive outcome or energy towards me, I'm cool with that. I welcome it. All positive vibes. I don't care from age, nationality, gender, spiritual beliefs. I don't care. Positive energy, send it my way. I'm cool with that. Just don't try to change my mind about it. And I'm going to get to that topic next. So anyway, I'll never forget what she said for New Year's Eve. She said, "Do you want to come to church?" And I've done that before. Go to church on New Year's. I thought it was the best thing you can do at the time. Not when I was with her, but when I did it before, I was like thinking to myself, yeah, what better place to be into with the house of the Lord, for New Year's. So fast forward, I told her, I said, "I don't want to, but since I love you, I'll do it." Because it almost turned into like a little back and forth thing. But I'm like, you know what, whatever, fine. You know what? Yeah, I'll go. Man, I keep in mind, she go to one of those super churches, all that money goes into. We go there. There's a line in the lobby just to get to the auditorium. I said, "Why do we have to wait in line?" So she said, "Oh, we're early." I said, "Oh God." So service starts. Typical stuff I'm used to. Damn near everybody in there black church, getting down, you got the band and everything, the preacher, the flat screens, all this stuff. Collection plate, get passed around like ninja please. I didn't put nothing in there. And let me know down below if your church does this or if you've experienced this visiting another church. When they say, "Do we have any visitors in here?" No, stand up. And I'm like, so I stood up, "Hey man, praise the Lord, welcome," and I'm thinking like, please do not let them pass the mic. Now, if they did, well, I'd have put on the show. Not nothing disrespectful, I'd have introduced myself, put on the show, but they didn't do that. They started singing a welcome song. And I'm sorry, just because something is positive and happy, that doesn't mean it can't be awkward or cringy. Just imagine you have to stand there while this whole auditorium of people are just singing to you. And my ex, she loved to sing. So she's singing to me too. You know, and I'm just like, damn. That, to me, that was the longest song ever. In my mind, it was the longest song. I started to just blank out, I swear. I think I had an outer body experience. But it was all in good spirit. So that's the thing. So don't get it twisted. It was just them to be, you know, nice and welcoming, you know, give a warm welcome. That's cool, whatever. So I sit down thinking, thank God. Literally, I'm like, oh, thank God. So service was going on and on and on. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, I could be meditating. And I'm not gonna lie, those last few minutes when it was time for the ball to drop, almost trying to meditate in that church, it was kind of hard because I meditate with my eyes closed, try to go in my inner world, my inner space, and of course the band, the choir is going haywire, people clapping and stomping and everything, and I'm really trying to focus and say my internal prayers, everything, and it's just the outer noise. It's not the fact that it was Christian noise, it was just the outer noise and everything. I'm not used to that. So the ball dropped, Happy New Year, yada yada. Oh, let me rewind a little bit. When it was time for people to go up to the front and join the church, this one lady was like, oh, go up there, young man. I'm like, nah, that's okay now. And then she asked, why not? I started by, look here, lady, you lucky I'm up in this motherfucker, because I could be at home straight chilling, getting my meditation on. But, you know, I told her, I said, I already have a church home. In my past heart, you know, the Solid Rock Missionary Baptist Church, that classified as my church home. Oh, let me take it back just a little bit further. I remember, yes, I used to catch the bus to church. I found the second church home. It was called Christian Life Abundance Center. For people who know Detroit, that was on Grand River. It was in Redford, but it was on Grand River Street. I used to catch the bus there, and what was messed up, my girl at the time, she told her friend about that, and her friend literally said, oh, he lying. You know, guys just say anything to make themselves look good. Ain't no way he catching the bus to church. And this was a sister who said this. You know, of course, her friend was black, so I'm like, that ain't that something. But you know, when the church people literally noticed I was catching the bus, they're like, oh, praise God, you catching the bus. Let me give you a ride home. I'll actually get rides home or rides to the bus stop. And I thought that was cool, but either way, I stopped going there. You know, my old super original church, I used to be in the choir. I used to be trained from being a deacon. I was an usher before. I used to do gospel rap. Yeah, me and my cousin. We were called God's Soldiers. Yeah, I know. And no, I do not remember the rap because I wore rap. It's just for entertainment purposes. But yeah, it was just crazy. I was just so in tune with the whole Christianity thing. So anyway, fast forward to the church and everything. Yeah, that was the last time I actually went inside of a church, you know? And I did that for her. Next year, she asked me that I want to go. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not. And it's crazy how a lot of Christians and religious people, but mainly Christian, they can be very sensitive, especially with forms of entertainment, which brings me to this: anime, games, manga, movies, any type of media. I used to know a lady, I call her half-ass Christian because she would let me smash her a lot. She would freestyle on the mic, all of that stuff. Oh, but she was a super Christian. Yeah, okay, whatever. So she was like one of those sensitive Christians. I will never forget. I was playing Resident Evil. First, she didn't like the name because it had evil in it. And when I died, first she said, how can you play this? This doesn't give you nightmares. I said, no. And this, matter of fact, this how long ago it was. This was Resident Evil 1, the remake on GameCube. So I'm playing it, and when I died, us gamers, especially the fans of Resident Evil, you know the game over screen, you are dead. You know, she's saying that, oh no, that is, see, that's gonna invite evil and evil spirits. How can you look at that in blood? It says dead in blood, and she was just going on and on and on. I'm thinking, I told her, I said, it's just a video game. This was made in Japan by a group of Japanese people. They're doing it because they're passionate about it and they want to get paid. And this is a series that has fans worldwide. The first time I played Resident Evil on PlayStation 1, when that happened, I didn't get scared. I didn't have nightmares. I was more afraid of the damn zombies and the giant tarantulas and those 32-bit pixelated graphics on PS1. I was afraid of that way more than the damn game over, you are dead screen. Come on now. So it comes down to it with Devil May Cry. She didn't like. Now I own every single Devil May Cry. I even own the HD remaster collection on 360, and even the new one that they made after that. So I own 2 HD collections on Devil May Cry. So anyway, yeah, she didn't like the name of that, and that's the thing. A lot of Christians, especially black folks, they swear any and everything is of the devil, or it's evil, or oh, this is gonna be just bringing just negativity into your life. They believe the spirits are gonna come through the TV. They believe, now I understand music can alter your mood. That is an actual fact. There have been studies shown, like in the clubs or concerts or just areas where there's groups of people, when certain songs play, especially like in the club or something, some Lil Jon play or something, there's a chance a fight is gonna break out. Or you got one of those mosh pit kind of songs where people, they just get in a circle, push each other, they be dancing and fighting, all them crazy type of dances. Some people listen to country music and get depressed for no damn reason. Happily married, now they just sitting there thinking like, damn, she actually left me. It can affect your mood. However, you have to have common sense. You got one of my uncles told my cousin Dragon Ball Z, or they're possessed when they go Super Saiyan. Pokemon is of the devil. That's like, come on now. Certain Monster Energy drinks, you got the logo. They think everything is of the devil and it's evil. They make it all about what they believe in the positive and the negative. The world does not revolve around Christianity. Yes, I know there are a lot of people worldwide that are Christians, but damn, that is not what life is about at all. Their argument will be a little bit stronger if Christianity was the first and only religion ever in existence. Maybe, just maybe, but nah, that's not the case at all. So, what else? Oh, how a lot of times it can be a scam. Look at Joel Osteen. That time when he could have let all them people in his church. He really could have. He's like, you're supposed to be a man of God. All that money he makes, living in that house, driving those cars, etc., etc. He could have let those people in that church to seek refuge. But nah. And there's this one video that really had me thinking like, see, this is exactly why. You all probably seen it before. It's called Do All Christians Think the Same? I've seen damn near all of these type of videos. And right here, I'm like, you all believe the same thing, but you're having debates and arguments, and this is the other reason why. I decided, like, this isn't for me. Right here, there are more than 45,000 denominations globally. I remember I seen part of a list of all the different Christian denominations. At that point, I said, what's the point? I said, nah, what's the point? Because I refuse to follow a group of beliefs or people that isn't really, factual. Like, how do we really know? You have different denominations and different translations and this. Then let's talk about the King James Version. A lot of black folks don't know a lot about King James. Like, a lot of times I just want to walk into a black church and give them a quiz. Who was King James? Was he good? Was he bad? Is the King James Version accurate? What about the missing books? Then a lot of us were taught Jesus was born on the 25th of December, Christmas. That's not true. So many type of things. Jesus was born at 33. Jesus was secretly married. Is it true? Yes, no, maybe so. All these kind of things. I refuse to walk a path of uncertainty. I refuse. All these different denominations and I can see how some people can look at religious people as being crazy, even back in the biblical times. Let's say if it was all real for the sake of the argument, people consumed, probably back then, hallucinogens. They got high, they got drunk. There was probably mental disorders back then. They probably looked at Moses like he was a nut job. He went on Mount Sinai and came back with the tablet saying, look, you can't do this no more, you can't do that no more. They probably looked at him like a freaking nut job, which a lot of them did. And this right here, I'm like, damn, man. So there's different denominations under this Christian group that, back when I was a Christian like that, I believe in, but what makes them different is what they're doing makes more sense to what I believe in, and how come I'm not? Nah, that's when you get spiritual confusion, and then now you're just clouded spiritually. But that's when you take matters into your own hand and do your own research internally and externally. See what fits you spiritually, what gravitates towards you. And I'm here to end it off of this. If you made it this far, thank you. But when I also heard this was really, really, really hella did it for me as well. Ill Mind of Hobson 7. That song spoke to me. That song was like 98, 99% all me. It's like that mother sucker like just felt and heard what was going on in here and made a song about it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not regret my decision. My life hasn't gotten any worse. I'm not depressed. I'm not ashamed. I don't live in fear. You know, even when I do pray, there are times when the prayers get answered. I'm not necessarily saying, you know, prayer works like that, or I'm not necessarily saying that's why it happened, but to all the half Christians or the toxic Christians out there, you really have to stop or realize that just because someone doesn't believe what you want to believe, their life is going to go downhill or they're going to be miserable. I know some Christians that live miserable lives. They're miserable. I probably live a better life, not just material wise, but here and here, I live a better life. And then they probably want to come to counter argument. Well, but in the afterlife, well, guess what? Jehovah's Witnesses, their afterlife, their thought process on it is a lot different than yours. So that boomerangs back to my point of who's right. Are you right? Are they right? Whatever. But I just cannot follow any religion because it just does not sit right with me for all these list of reasons and then some. Oh yeah, real quick, I do know this lady, she's a Jehovah's Witness. She tried to convert me a lot. I knew it was something else I was forgetting on, and I'm here to end it right here, I promise you. They try to convert you, especially Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, y'all got some balls. If you're a Jehovah's Witness watching this, you mother suckers got some balls, especially knocking, like, I never forget. You knocking on a black person's home trying to convince them to switch religions? Yeah, notice you can't really do that today. Well, in some areas you can. You have some balls to do that. And the lady I know who's a Jehovah's Witness, she said, you should come to a hall with me. I said, why? You would like it. I said, no, I wouldn't. How do you know? I said, I'm not religious and I know. I said, I'll be bored. No, you wouldn't. You got a good personality. Thanks, but I will be bored. I'm not gonna take nothing in. Nothing. What else? Even Christians, they try to convert you or push their beliefs on you. That's nothing that pisses me off about certain religious people. Don't push your beliefs on me. I don't push my diet on people. I don't push my spirituality on people. Don't do it. Like, why are you benefiting them? Like, I mean, what are you going to benefit out of it? I've had people literally trying to push their Christianity ways on to me. So, of course it failed. But yeah, that's it, elites. Oh man, it feels good to talk about this. I've been wanting to talk about this on YouTube for so long. A lot of my homeboys, they know my stance on this. It just feels good about it. So give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Are you religious? Are you not? Are you Christian? You know, are you not? Are you spiritual? Do you believe in God? Do you don't believe in God? You know, yeah, real quick, I know a guy is a subscriber. He's real cool. He don't even believe in God at all. But guess what? Me and him are cool. He hit me up for advice. We get along. He's real good at Smash Brothers. It was his 7 to my 3. he whooped my ass. That was back then. Now, a different ball game, I promise you. So, yeah, that's all that matters, man. This religion can divide people. It can actually do damage. Let's just focus on helping each other without the religion, all right? We can do better ourselves and we can uplift one another without religion. That is a fact because I've done it, I've witnessed it, I've seen it. Matter of fact, someone sent me this. This is going to sound cringe, but I've got to say it. I'm 28 now, happily working full-time and supporting younger people in their lives with my advice. But when I was 18, I dropped out of school and was struggling to make it in the workplace. I couldn't hold down a job, I hated life, and I just wanted to play games all day because I love anime, manga, games, etc. I found this channel in 2012 and it was your real world topics that came in clutch for me and were a massive inspiration for me and my life 10 years ago. Stuff like being grateful for your job no matter what it is, being respectful in life, knowing how to behave in public and how to approach people, etc. All of this stuff helped me hugely. I've even gotten a mug from my second to last job with a motivator written on it because of how much I use it. Laughed my ass off. I honestly thought this channel was dead and buried, and I was cool with that, but it's great to see the legend himself back. And you see, I'm not Christian, but I'm motivating people. I'm making people feel good, and I'm helping change lives in a positive way. So that's all that matters. So with that being said, elites, give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Again, thank you so much for sticking through this whole thing. I told you this is going to be the longest real world topic, and this probably may be the one that gets the most views for a while. That being said, I appreciate it. It's me, the Elite Ace, signing out.